Bernie Sanders talked to the Associated Press, and let's just say shots fired at people who are his supporters who will not vote for Joe Biden. So here's what they say. Bernie Sanders said Tuesday that it would be irresponsible for his loyalists not to support Joe Biden, warning that progressives who sit on their hands in the months ahead would simply enable President Donald Trump's reelection. And lest there be any question, the 78-year-old Vermont senator confirmed that, quote, it's probably a very fair assumption that he would not run for president again. He added with a laugh, one can't predict the future. Sanders, who suspended his presidential bid last week, spoke at length about his decision to endorse Biden, his political future, and the urgent need to unify the Democratic Party during an interview with the Associated Press. He railed against the Republican president, but also offered pointed criticism at his own supporters who have so far resisted his vow to do whatever it takes to help Biden win the presidency. He seemed to distance himself from his campaign's former national press secretary, Brianna Joy Gray, when asked about her recent statement on social media refusing to endorse Biden. Quote, she is my former press secretary, not on the payroll, Sanders noted. A spokesman later clarified that all campaign staffers were no longer on the payroll as of Tuesday, though they will get a severance check in May. Sanders says his supporters have a simple choice now that Biden has emerged as the presumptive nominee. Do we be as active as we can in electing Joe Biden and doing everything we can to move Joe and his campaign in a more progressive direction, or do we choose to sit it out and allow the most dangerous president in modern American history to get reelected? He continued, I think that it's irresponsible for anybody to say, well, I disagree with Joe Biden, and therefore I'm not going to be involved. Yeah, okay, so here's the deal, man. What was irresponsible, Bernie, is giving away all of the tremendous leverage that you had for nothing concrete. That was irresponsible. What's irresponsible is squandering this amazing movement and all of its energy that you have. Now, everybody needs to understand something. I'm not going scorched earth on Bernie because he's endorsing Biden. Okay? That's not my bone to pick with him. I think he genuinely thinks, hey man, this is the best path forward. And I've seriously, soberly, and objectively analyzed it, and I think this is the best path forward. So I'm not mad about that, but what I am mad about is him using the word irresponsible, as if anybody who disagrees with the calculations that he made are wrong. I won't proselytize, and I won't evangelize, and I'm not going to be zealous about not voting. So I'm not trying to convert people to non-voting, but you will hear me respond when I think people are unfairly criticizing my position of not voting. And Brianna, by the way, I have no idea if she's actually, when the time comes, will she actually not vote for Biden? I don't know. You're going to have to ask her. She might change her mind. But I can only speak for myself here. But in my mind, when Bernie used that word irresponsible, man, was I triggered. Because I genuinely think the way in which Bernie is doing this transition to supporting Biden, it's incredibly irresponsible. Because, as I described in a previous segment, here's what he could have done, guys. He could have, in all these meetings with Biden, no doubt he's been having a lot of them, he could have said, Joe, listen, man, we're friends. By the way, I think they are genuine friends. We're friends, but we do have big disagreements politically. I made a list of 10 executive orders that I think you can do that are very, very strong progressive executive orders, but I think you can do them. And even though we have some big disagreements, these ones will be all right. 10 amazing executive orders, put them on Biden's desk and say, listen, man, if you commit to doing all these within the first 100 days, you have my support. And I'll do everything I can to help you get elected. If you say you don't want to do them, good luck in November. I'm going to have to walk away. Now, Bernie didn't do that, and he wouldn't do that because he already early on pledged his support to the Democratic nominee. I think that was a mistake. I would go as far as calling that irresponsible. Because now, the only move you have is to badger this movement of people into supporting Biden without really, bringing them over with solid reasons. So that's why you're going to have some people in the movement go, nah, I'm good. Like me. I'm not going to do it. Because Bernie, it was never about you. There was a time when Bernie knew this. It used to be, not me, us. Now it's not us, him. Him meaning Biden. So it's not about you, Bernie. So if somebody supported your movement because they support Medicare for all, you can't get mad at them when they're not going to go vote for Biden because Biden doesn't support Medicare for all. You see what I'm saying? Like, there are issues that are unique to Bernie that people were like, I love that. I'm in. And then you can't say it's irresponsible when the whole reason they supported you was something that Biden is pledging not to do. That's not irresponsible. That's very straightforward. That's very understandable. That's very rational for them to say, sorry, I'm not going to partake in it. So you're just not going to get people by saying, oh, this guy's not as bad. Wow. The other thing I'll say is, for Bernie to word the use irresponsible, what's irresponsible was repeatedly telling reporters that Biden could beat Trump at a time when Biden started shellacking him. Like, if there was one thing Bernie couldn't do and win the race, it was totally concede on the issue of electability. After Biden trounced him on Super Tuesday, and the reason why Biden trounced him, and we know because we have polling on this, is that there was a wild swing in the electability perception, and 70% of voters said Biden's more electable versus Trump, and they say that's why I'm supporting Biden. Now, if you're really trying to win, if you're really going to be responsible in the position that you're in running for president, Bernie, you know what you do? In all the interviews right after you lose on Super Tuesday, you say, Biden can't beat Trump. That's why I'm running. Only I could beat Trump. This guy is a lot like Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton just lost in 2016. Remember, Hillary was the safe option. What happened? She lost. You want to go with the safe option again? Go with Biden, and you'll see Trump will win. You got to vote for me. I'm like FDR. FDR won 4 times. So I'm the actual safe option. He's the fake safe option. He can't beat Trump. Guys, he's struggling. He can't beat Trump. Imagine if he said that. Biden's struggling, guys. Who are we kidding? Imagine if Bernie said those words. He doesn't have to say what I would say. But if she's just like, I don't know, man, he's struggling to me. So what was irresponsible was totally conceding on the issue of electability when that was the main issue driving the race. And it was especially irresponsible given the fact that you had working men and women all across this country donating their last $20 in you, and their little bit of hope they had left, they invested in Bernie Sanders' campaign. And now you turn around when you endorse Biden and you look down on the people who aren't immediately following you. Oh, please. The hell out of here, man. Get the hell out of here. I'm open to, if people want to make reasonable arguments when it comes to Biden, I'm listening. I hear you. You know, do I think Joe Biden is definitely better when it comes to the courts? No question. I take a centrist on the court over a far right person any day of the week. Do I think Joe Biden is better when it comes to climate change? Yes. There are some issues where Biden is clearly better. We can have those conversations. But if you're going to bring people in, you're going to bring people in like that, being honest and open. You're not going to bring people in with the badgering and the looking down at them and insulting them and shaming them and calling them irresponsible when Brianna put aside a year of her life to do absolutely everything she possibly could to get Bernie elected. Now, let me tell you something. Bernie Sanders, what did he say when Elizabeth Warren was not endorsing him immediately after she dropped out? What did Bernie say? Hey guys, come on now. Everybody relax. Let's give her some space. Let's give her some time to think. At some point, she'll make her mind up, and we have to respect the decision. You couldn't say the same thing for somebody who put everything on the line for you, Bernie? Shame on you, man. Shame on you. And everybody knows I love Bernie. I love Bernie. Always have, always will. And he awakened a lot of people, and for that we owe a debt of gratitude to him forever. But let's keep it real. What he's doing here and what he's saying here is flat out wrong. It's flat out wrong. And let's just say he might call what people like me are doing irresponsible, but if I was in a conversation with him about him and I was giving him my reasoning, he wouldn't have a rebuttal. He wouldn't have a rebuttal. Because yes, Biden is just that bad. If you want to make the argument Biden's not as bad as Trump, I think that's probably true. But Biden is still beyond the pale. That I think is true.